who can live abroad alone and happily. In this video, I would like to share with you the main hints that is important to know before moving abroad. And if you're right now in a decision-making phase, should you move abroad alone or stay in your home country, I recommend you to watch this video till the end. And I will start with a small story. There was a girl, and her name was Ula. She was living in a small city in Philippines all her life. She spent her time with her small brother, her family. She felt very strong connection with them. The life was simple, and she enjoyed that a lot. From the childhood, she understands that she has to receive a good education and find a good job to support herself and support her family. And then when time comes, she finished her university and she got a job in international company, a very huge international company that has offices in different countries. And she was working in a big project with her colleagues. And one of the projects was connected with logistics in Europe, and she was successful there. And one day she got a message from her European boss that he would like to talk with her. She was very worried about that talk because she didn't know what exactly he will tell her. And then they had online call and he told her, Ula, I really enjoy working with you and I see that you're a very hard-working woman, very great specialist, and I would like you to move to Europe and work with my team. She was very happy and excited to see and to hear that the team likes her and that she has a chance to move to Europe. That was one of her dreams that he was thinking many years. And then she was thinking, should she move from her home country, from her family that she loves a lot, from her friends, leave everything and go to the country where she have never been, go to the place that she didn't know, because basically she know only her boss and colleagues. And she was thinking, should she accept this offer or not? What do you think? Does Ula said yes, that she accepted the offer and moved to Europe, or she decided to stay in her home country? We will see at the end of the video. And let's start with the main tips, what's important to know before moving. Why I tell you that story? It's a clear demonstration of decision making. And the first thing what you have to ask yourself, why you want to move abroad alone. Because there can be different decisions that you can take driven by other people's goals or other people's thoughts. And there are a lot of examples that someone, like parents, want his kids to move abroad to have a better education, but maybe kids want something else in life, you know. So you have to be clear that this is your goal, this is really what you want to do, and it's not because of certain showing everyone like, hey, I'm so cool, I'm working abroad, and yeah, be jealous of me. You have to take a lot of responsibility when you do this step. So this is the first thing. The second important point is to understand that the structure of the person who can live abroad happily is unusual. So I will give example of myself. When I was small, starting from 7 year old I started going to school, and when I'm back after school to my home, I was alone. There was no grandma or grandfather, there was no one at home, because my parents were working at this time till the evening, And starting from 7 years, I was alone at home. I was doing my homeworks. I was making warm the meal that my mom cooked for me. I was managing myself, and I remember that time my family told me, okay, just turn on the TV and you can hear some sounds that you will feel not lonely if you want. And I did that sometimes. So starting from 7 years old kid, there was every day hours then I was alone completely, and I have to manage myself. So this is a short demonstration of that I already had an experience of being alone. It was not abroad, I was in my home country, but still it was a situation that I was alone. And you have to ask yourself, have you ever had this situation that you were living alone in the flat? Maybe there was some trips there where you alone. If your answer is not, that you're always with someone and you always live in the same flat with some people, before going abroad, I recommend you to go to the country where you're going for a short trip alone. If it's not possible because of finances, time, etc., then please take a chance to travel alone to the closest city or closest country, closest village that you have, and spend some days alone. That will allow you to feel yourself, how you can handle the different situation, different things by your own, how you feel alone. This is important. The next important thing is that what I'm saying, when you are alone, you have to be happy with yourself. It's important not to feel lonely, because when you are in a foreign country and from the first months, days, you don't know people, you don't have friends, maybe you know some colleagues from your job, but they have their own life, so you have to handle everything alone. And if you are the person who are very need someone, who are very dependent on someone, like you need some person being close to you, this is something that you have to work on, and this is something you have to think about. Because in my case, that I'm feeling very calm, relaxed, and good alone, and yeah, this is maybe unusual for certain people, but this is how I feel. And the important thought that you have to keep in mind is that no one, really no one, will make you happy. People can make you a bit more happy or a bit less happy, but there should be a certain percentages, like 80 percentages, 90 percentages, that you are making yourself happy. And then other people can make you a bit more happy, a bit less happy. So this is certain knowledge that I got through years, and I'm happy to share with you. So keep it in mind, it's important. The next hint is that if you're living alone and you're feeling lonely, it's important that you understand why you're here and what else you can do. Because you can do sports, you can learn a lot of things, you can start your own business, you can find some new activities, you can find some new friends. This is all up to you. It's your responsibility to make your life how you want. And in all international cities, there are some communities of people who have exactly the same situation as you. And if you really want, you can just join them, and yeah, spend some time together and find some new connections. So this is also a good hint for you. What else is important to know is that the person who is moving abroad should understand that he, she, they takes the full responsibility of their life by themselves. So they take all responsibility on themselves. I give you an example. When I was moving alone abroad to Germany, I understand that if something happens with me, all cases, I know that my family will not come to help me because they cannot do that. I know that most of my friends also cannot do that because they are living in other places. So if something happens, I take my own responsibility of that. And I have to make plan A, plan B, plan C, the more plans that you have, what I can do. How can I react? How should I handle that? Because there are always some services that can support you if you have some questions. You can always find some people who can help you. If not, then they maybe know some other person who can support you and answer your question. But I'm basically take all my responsibility of my life. And I know, again, if something happened, my family cannot support me financially. My family cannot support me and come and bring some things to me, right? So this is what I understood and this is what I know, and I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that. My family can support me morally, they can support me partly emotionally if I need it, Surely, if you are living abroad and moving abroad, people with whom you were connected before, they don't really fully understand how you feel. They don't fully understand in which situation you are. They don't fully understand what things are going on in your life because they are not exactly in this moment with you physically. And this is normal. This is what is you have to accept. And if you, for example, share some news or some stories with them, you have to understand that they will not understand it and they will not feel it 100%. This is normal. This is life. The same case if they will tell you something, you will feel and understand maybe less percentages that you want, but this is life. So be responsible. Be responsible and be strong if you're moving abroad alone. So the next point is that to be brave and open to everything new. Because the new country, it's other culture, it's other food, it's other buildings, it's other air, everything is new. So you have to be open to that. Some people, they bring their own, things from their home country to the new country and try to adapt and to live, but they are not really separated from their home way how they live. And there are certain, I would say, non-adaptation conflicts that I see also in Germany. So if you are moving to another country, you have to understand that there are certain rules that you have to follow. And there are certain things, new things that you have to be able to adapt. So be open to that. The next important point is that you have to ask yourself, do you want to be fully integrated to the new area, to the new society, to the new country, or you want to keep your own structure as you want? It's your choice, right? As I said before. You have to keep in mind that there are a lot of countries that it's not very easily to go and be connected with the people who are living there, because, for example, in Germany, if you are looking on young generation, they have friends from kindergarten, from when they were kids, or from the school, and they make friends when they are very young and they go through their lives with this young generation friends. Yes, surely some of them they meet at university, some of them at work, but depends on which age you are coming to Germany. Sometimes it's not easy to find a real deep friendship, because some communities, they don't really easily accept some new people. And most of the time, foreign people are making parties and making some activities with the same foreign people as they are. This is the reality. But surely depends on the country and depends on the area where you are moving and living. The next important thing for me personally is remember your roots. Remember the country that you're coming from. Remember your family. Because I born in my home country and I will never change that. And I'm happy that there's some part inside of me that always remember about that. And even if I move to Germany or if I will move to a new country, I will keep certain things that I'm doing. I'm keeping certain tradition that I'm doing. I keep in the love to my parents and to the ground where I was growing and remembering my childhood and remember the time that I spent in my home country. So this is important for me. And it's up to you if you want to keep it, or you decided that if I move to a new country, it's completely new life and I have to cut everything. It can be very serious damage of your personality because this is part of you. And if you cut this part of you, what will be instead of that, you know? So keep in mind and think about that too. According to a certain statistics, why people are moving generally to foreign countries. There are a huge amount of people who are moving because they found a job, because they start studying a new university in another country. Some of them move to foreign country because of their loved ones, because of their relationships, and you always have to understand why you're moving, as I said in the first part of the video, and what's the consequences can be. Because I saw many talented people who move and live for many, many years in Europe, and after a long time they say, I am done. I want to move back home. So, you know, and if you think that will not happen to you, that can be, but always keep in mind that life can change and your point of view can change. So find a certain balance between of your expectations and the reality. This is important. One of the last and important point is that work-life balance. If you're moving because of work to foreign country, it can take in your mind as a priority, you know. So I'm focusing on my job and trying to do it as much as I can and put all my energy, and then your other life balance can be dropped down. So my recommendation, always think about the balance, how to make it in a good combination. Okay, you're working, but at the end you have to do some other activities. You can do some sport, you can educate yourself, or you can spend some time with new friends, have some calls with your old friends, with your family. So do not put yourself in the position that, okay, I'm in a new country and my work is the most important thing, the rest is not important. Can be dangerous. The same for the people who are studying abroad. So yeah, focusing totally on education. Yes, you can spend a lot of time, but then if your private life is dropping and lacking, then most of the people feel unhappy. So keep it in mind. The next important thing, what I would like to tell you, is that moving abroad can be challenging, but you can make it happily if you remember that moving abroad can make you stronger. Moving abroad can show you who you really are. Being alone and living alone can show you how you feel yourself. If there's any issues, problems inside you, or if everything is fine, it's perfect, but this is like a certain test how you can understand in which stage of life you are, which problems you have, and how to handle it. And surely you become stronger. And because you are coming outside of your box, because you're coming out from the area where you feel comfortable, and there are less people, very, very less people who does that. So please keep it in mind. And coming back to our lady Ula, so what she decided, does she decided to leave her home country, leave Philippines, or move to Europe? She was thinking a long time, and at the end she was speaking with her boss from Europe, and they aligned that she will move to Europe for exchange program for 3 years, and during 3 years she will live in Europe, she will work in Europe, and then after 3 years she can decide if she will have a permanent contract and stay in Germany, or she will move back to Philippines. So that was the best solution for her and best solution for her new boss to understand what's the better for her and what's the better for the company. And please keep in mind that it's your life and it's your decision what to do or not. And I wish you that you will move abroad alone, happily and healthy. All the best to you.